So this video is going to be about becoming an editor, and we've received a couple of questions about why you want to become an editor and then how you become an editor. So let's start with the first one. Why would you want to become an editor of a journal?
So why would you want to be an editor? I think that being an editor is quite rewarding. I really like seeing how things work behind the scenes. I actually started my academic career mostly from an editor's perspective, editing special issues and volumes as well. Not only that helped me get to know people, but also to try and help authors and contributors perfect their manuscript, and that's something that I really like. I really like that community feel in editing. So that's why I've been always attracted in doing editing jobs. Why did I personally go and apply to be the editor of Acta Politica? It's really to make a contribution to the community. It's paying it forward as well. When I was an early career academic, I had the support from editors as well, who during the reviewing process tried to nudge me in the right direction. And I think that it's only fair that I try to pay it forward as well, especially with regards to the early career researchers. It's also, I'd say, fun. In Acta Politica, we work as a team. So I work with Émilie Van Noot, and we have Clémence Desfuert, who is our editorial assistant. And we are almost, I would say, like a dream team, working really well together, trying to come up with ideas as well on how to improve the reviewing process, how to make Acta Politica an attractive platform for not only the contributors, but also the readers. And that's also quite rewarding to make a contribution to a journal that has such a big history.
From a journal which has not yet a big history, but hopefully a big future. PPMG is a new journal, and I very much agree what Benjamin has been saying. We have an editor-in-chief and no less than 6 associate editors. And just with this new journal, we are not overburdened with work because, well, the number of submissions is increasing very fast now, but it's still very well workable and doable to be an editor. And what is fun to do is that we jointly shape the character of the journal, and that's really fun to do. And in addition, we all agreed on being an associate editor of PPMG or an editor because we underline the mission of the journal a lot. So the advancement of theory is important to all of us. So it's well, very nice to be able to contribute to that specific aim, which is important to the field. And yeah, I also like to work in a team. So we have regular editorial meetings in which we discuss all kinds of issues related to the journal. Another reason why it's fun to be an editor is that you see a lot of work being done worldwide and also be the first to see it, actually, and also to see the development in the work being done by peers worldwide. So it's really a fun job to do when you're mid-career or a senior.
Yeah, maybe I can add to that. A lot of things that have been said I fully agree with. I really value contributing to the community and the discipline in this role. So that's one of the things why I decided to, decided to become associate editor from public administration. We have editor-in-chief and several associate editors. But there was one additional thing in particular for public administration, and that was the aims of the new editor-in-chief to make the journal more global in scope. So we have to try to reach out to the communities in other parts that have not been as visible. So the inclusiveness, I really was attracted to that. So we have a very international board of editors from our associate editor team, from Chile to Australia, and so that's really very nice. And that's why I thought it would be very nice to contribute to that aim as well. It brings challenges because in reviewing the manuscripts, you really have to be careful. But I really like that and I really value that, to be able to contribute to the discipline in this way.
Yeah, I think I can, I mean, a lot has been said already at Public Administration Review. So I've been a managing editor now for a year and 2 months, so still very fresh in that sense. We do get a lot of submissions because PAR has been around for quite some time, and that does make things quite difficult in a way. Like with PPMJ and PA, we have associate editors and we have managing editors and we have an editor-in-chief. So we do have a quite extensive board, and yeah, but it takes time and it takes an investment. And I think what stimulated me the most to become a managing editor is to kind of add to the history of our fields, one of the journals that has been around for some time, and kind of yeah, help it perform well, help it do well, help it kind of move into this next era of public administration research. And we are in this next era, right? We are seeing more geographical diversity. I mean, we've published papers from Kurdistan, from several Asian nations. So we are seeing this diversity popping up, and I'm happy to be a part of that. But at the same time, there is no kind of knocking about. It takes time, and it's not always a fantastically fun job, especially when you have to look at 20 different potential reviewers and none of them are available. It can become quite frustrating, right? So that sense of community and sense of adding something to your field, I think that's probably the main reason why I do it.
Well, if I may still add to that, because I heard some sort of call in the response by Bert, and that's a call upon you all who are listening, that we really need good reviewers, because well, the quality of our work in our discipline is very much dependent on well, your willingness, your motivation, and also the effort you put in your reviews, and that's the very essence of science. And what I observe is that, well, not everyone is, evenly willing to contribute to this collective good, which science is. So this is really a call to all of you to accept reviewer invitations. Of course, not all. It should fit with your expertise. That's very important. Not just review for the sake of reviewing, but if a request fits with your expertise, please accept such a call.
Yeah, if I may add to that, I fully agree, and I fully underline this because I share the same frustration of having to invite multiple reviewers and then still being stuck. And when you agree to such a review, try to be honest but constructive, and always have the authors in mind who did their best in writing the manuscript, right? I've seen reviews that I thought, oh dear, I really need to add a few lines to nuance what's been written here. I think we should all do a job to, to be constructive. But honest, and you can do those things at the same time, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely right. And one last thing that I would like to add, like personally to this, is also like saying thank you to all of those who accept doing the reviews, but also thank you to those who decline and offer alternative names. You have no idea how much time you save us by doing so, and it's a bit creating a chain of reviews as well, because we are not omniscient. We don't have a network of 1 million people, of course. So it's also a good way for us to know other colleagues and often early career researchers and emerging leaders in the field, and then we invite them for review if they are available.
Can I build on that, Benjamin? I don't want to take up too much time, but maybe a call I can imagine from all of us, that if you have not yet reviewed for one of our journals, but you feel that you have specific expertise, do not hesitate to let us know. Make us aware of your specific expertise, of your willingness to review. You can do this proactively. And all of my PhD students, for instance, are part of databases of reviewers of several journals. It can be extremely helpful for young scholars to engage in reviews. You learn so much from it, but you can be proactive because we don't know all the names. We don't know all the people engaging with our research. So sign up if you're interested.
So we've shifted a bit from being an editor to being a reviewer. That's of course also very important. So we'll keep it in the video. But to kind of draw it back a bit to where we started in the beginning, just the last final quick question. How do you become a board member, an editorial board member? How do you become an editor in your journals?
So my editorial board membership, so I'm part of the editorial board of Public Management Review, the Review of Public Personnel Administration, and the Asia Pacific Journal of Public Administration. All three were requests from the editor-in-chief, where I had published in those journals or I had shown a clear interest in those journals, and they approached me asking whether I would be interested in becoming an editorial board member. And I think that's the sequence, right? You publish in those journals a couple of times, your work becomes, I mean, people become aware of your work, they see what you do, and then that kind of mature into an editorial board membership. At least that's how it went for me. And also you review a lot for them, right? So that's not just publishing them, but you review a lot for them. So that helps. In terms of becoming an editor, now, how this went, I have a good contact with Jeremy Howell, the editor-in-chief of PAR, and me picking up the role of managing editor basically emerged based on a conversation between the two of us, in which there was a clear need, and I had some competencies that would fit the part well, and yeah, that's kind of how it went. So it was a little bit a confrontation between supply and demand. Do you have the time? Are you interested? And I don't have the time, but I still said I'm interested, so I did it. Anyway, so I think a combination between publishing in journals, doing reviews for the journals, I think if you do that systematically, you could end up on the editorial board.
So there are different routes, obviously, in terms of becoming an editor. I won't talk about being a member of an editorial board because I've never been a member of an editorial board, but as far as becoming one of the editors-in-chief of Acta Politica is concerned, what I did is that is what quite a few journals do as well, which is answering to a call for applications. So they describe the job, what does it entail, what kind of profile they are looking for as well. And in the case of Acta Politica, I felt like I could be a good fit for this position, on top of the fact that it was a job that I found particularly interesting, in line with the paying it forward line that I mentioned earlier. So there are quite a few journals who have open calls for applicants. Also, I believe for becoming a member of an editorial board. Just keep an eye out if you are interested. There are regular calls on social media and on the websites of the different journals.
I can add a little bit about becoming a member of an editorial board. I am a member of two editorial boards, the editorial board of JPAR, the Journal of Public Administration Research and Theory, and also a member of the editorial board of the International Public Management Journal. And I guess, at least, that I have become one because of providing a lot of reviews and hopefully of good quality. And as a member of an editorial board, you are sort of super reviewer, right? So you have submitted good quality reviews, and then the journal wants to have you committed to the journal and then appoint you as a member of the editorial board, which implies that you can decline, of course, reviewer requests, but you are not supposed to do so. So it's a form of a commitment also to a journal.
Yeah, if I can add to that, I think what we've been sharing underlines the importance of good publications, that goes without saying, but also good and constructive reviews. I think that's, and in particular, constructive reviews, because that doesn't only show your quality as a researcher in doing the research yourself, but being able to offer a fair and high quality assessment. And I think that's what journals need in terms of their editorial board and the editors. And the way I became an editor of associate editor of public administration is precisely what you've been sharing already. The new editor-in-chief wanted to compose a team, and we didn't know each other at all. We only knew each other based on each other's work, but not personally. So we had a very nice conversation. So that is nice, right? It's a mix of network, but network based on research, the substance of the research. So that's a very nice way of being approached for associate editorship, I think.